Okay guys, we're going to try this one more time. Let me bring up a new window and add window capture. Alright, we've got just enough players, 18. I wouldn't mind getting two or three more. Start it up here. Edit, add order, move up, edit scene. Grab this, make it smaller and bring it up. Alright guys, finally, to change the aspect ratio here, but it's looking like this might work like that. Alright, 20 players. Hopefully we've stopped dropping frames. And welcome. Guys, this is gonna be too many players. I think I'm gonna stop it there with 25 players. Alright. Hopefully a couple people will drop out because 25 is pretty hard. I'm gonna start with the 25 here. This is pretty brutal, 25 players, but I think I can just about handle it. That's the maximum I've done. Black screen. No, you'll get the you'll get the board. I can see it. All right. We're starting with 25 players. That's a lot, but I think we can handle it. A couple of you guys want to drop out? No problem. We've got extra room to spare. Here we go, guys. Good luck. All right. We are playing random color, 25 boards, and we're going to play fast. I don't want to get in time pressure like I often do. Morphita Fisher, someone was posing as you in one of my streams, just to let you know about that. I almost played the Dutch. Kind of tempted to play the Dutch. I don't know why. Welcome everybody. I'm International Master William Paschall. As is the case lately, I've had a lot of trouble getting my stream started, but once I find a good setting for the OBS, we're usually fine to go. I've got to fix my camera actually. Oh, I moved it. Why is my camera not playing? Alright, too big camera. Actually, I'll move the board here a little bit. Center it up. Alright, that looks better. I didn't realize my camera was so big. Okay. Yeah, somebody was trolling me. Morphita Fisher, I wanted to let you know about it, but I forgot to send you a message on lichess. Just so you know. It doesn't, it's not your fault, but I thought you might want to know if somebody's like trolling other people, pretending to be you. Okay, so it's 40-40, guys. I'm going to try to mix up the openings here with white quite a bit. A little bit with black, too. We've got a lot of new opponents. You're killing me with the F5, man. I'm going to play C5. The F4. Good luck, all. The stream is fine now. Yeah, I've had really, really weird problems with the OBS. It's just unstable. Like, one day the setting will be fine, and the next day I'll stream and like I'll need to change the settings. But anyway, hopefully it will be cool once it starts. Once it starts well, usually it stays good. I'm gonna play Sicilian here. I feel like the stronger players who are like 2100. I don't know, Lenchen, I did play one game. I actually lost with Lenchen. So this guy is strong. Well, I guess we'll play C5 against all the strongest players. Fatih Mehmet. How many games is 25 today? So I'm going to need to just kind of like move quickly. Guitar player 92. What is this? A new guitar player? Is that like another troll? We'll just keep the troll. 55 games though, so I don't think that's a troll. I talked about this like on Friday. I'm going to try to kind of like only accept opponents during my Blitz and classical streams. And also in the Simul, basically, This guy's pretty strong, 2275 from Ukraine. I'm going to try to avoid playing people who are like new accounts with very few games. So I'd like to really ask, people to challenge me normally who have like at least like 50 games or something like that. But I was kind of in a rush here, so I might have let a few like provisionally or unrated players slip by. We might let... I have to kind of crack down because we had a troll using a computer in a couple games in the same stream on Friday. And so I'm just going to ask people that play me to have an established rating based on like 50 games or something if they want to play. That'll really go into effect more during tomorrow's Blitz and Classical stream. Every morning I do a Blitz Classical stream, 10 a.m. Central European summertime. Won't be summertime much longer. So I'm going to try to move it along here and play, as quickly as I can. I got into time pressure last Simuls quite a bit. So I'm just going to kind of relax and, not stress too much. If I lose, I lose. I had a tournament game today. It's been kind of a tough day because I played a tournament game in the Budapest Team League. And I was better, but I offered a draw in a much better position. I'm kind of sorry that I did that because it was a slightly higher rated opponent, and I don't know, I misevaluated the position. I thought he had, I really thought he had quite a bit of compensation, but it wasn't apparently. So bad draw offer. But it's not easy playing a tournament game and getting back here to do the Simul with you guys, but I do it just for you. All right, we've got a Nimzo Indian against B-Chess. I played a King's Indian today in my tournament game. Bishop F4 from Jan Brown. This is Sicilian. What's up, guys? We're playing 25 boards. Usual move there from Phil Cunnan. I'm going to play knight F3 here. I just don't want to get in the time pressure I had in the last Simuls. I think I just kind of like talk and it's a little too slow in the early going of the Simul, kind of wasting time. So I'm not gonna waste as much time here. This must seem like a really slow game for anybody who's playing in the old bullet. Man, Archer's a strong player here. Bishop G4. I allowed this so-called, what is this, like a Portuguese gambit? Is that what they call this? The Portuguese gambit, right? It's a little bit sharp. I'm going to try to keep it simple with Bishop E2. I might have even played that myself one time. Bishop G4 there. Lamia Navitas. Alright, B-Chess played the ever-popular Leningrad variation against the Nimzo. I had an opponent today in my Hungarian team championship, or Budapest team championship game. His favorite variation is the F3 Nimzo. You have a lot of Nimzos today. And I just didn't want to deal with it, so I played the King's Indian. The guy is just really good in the F3 Nimzo, and I didn't want to suffer in that kind of positional game. So I got a good game in a King's Indian with black. Shevardinga, we have had a number of games in this opening, going back quite a while. Let's play knight c3. Morphy-Tal Fischer, the real Morphy-Tal Fischer, please stand up. Delta Psi. I'm a Sigma Chi myself. Knight c3, knight takes d4. We've got maybe Khan, Sicilian here, or Scheveningen. And this is a safe way for me to play this. Now queen takes e2, I guess, and knight f3. So I couldn't play in the Maniac Marathon. I don't do bullet chess, and I really, I do if you consider 2-minute bullet chess, but I've kind of sworn off bullet chess. Shevardinga, if it helps you, in my tournament yesterday, I was principal declined to draw from an FN. I'm in a position with a slight edge and lost. I have to tell you a story about the guy that I offered to draw with. I mean, I said this, maybe I said this like before I played him on my last stream, but because I had a feeling I was going to play this guy. Yeah, I mean, I have a record with this guy that we had 2 previous games, and in both previous games, the player with an overwhelmingly winning position lost. So I think that was kind of in the back of my mind somewhere, subconsciously, when I offered him a draw in a better, position. I was a pawn up, but I thought he had some compensation, honestly. But I was being a little irrational, I think, because really it just wasn't that much compensation. I felt like it was more than it really was. And but I mean, it's in the back of your mind. If you played with a guy and you've had 2 games where like the guy with the winning position just like lost horrifically, yeah, you sort of think about it. That makes me feel a little bit better. Skibbing again makes me feel better. Yeah. Well, actually, the first game I played for this team, and it's not really a very strong team, but I thought we were gonna win the match, and then like the team ends up losing the match. I feel like slightly responsible because, okay, this is an interesting move now. Knight f6 is actually considered inaccurate because of bishop g5, I think, in that position. So it does make me feel a little better. This dose here, this is a weird line. Not a weird line, but never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's a normal position. All right. Onward and upward. Knight f3 c5 from pawn spanker, and we'll play a Sicilian. It's always being principled versus being practical. I was practical. Well, I overlooked something in my game, but a3 kind of unusual in the Leningrad Nimzo there. Better to draw than lose, Now d3 from guitar player. Okay, we'll play, I don't know, knight f6, I guess. d5. I wanted to play d5, but he just like, what am I going to do there? That's sort of a weird move. Unusual move, d3. Malats with c5, and maybe I should be principled here. Speaking of principled, play d5. Zudidis has been a tough opponent for me. Wow, so Scheveningen goes into the Botvinnik variation. Alright, we've got Jan Brown here with h3 kind of early. Alright, I want to drift into that time pressure, as I said. I've had in the last simuls now. Phil Conan with a very aggressive plan in a strange position here. Have seen this kind of thing before, and I have run into trouble on occasion when people do stuff like this. If I don't take it seriously, kind of fall asleep, and next thing you know, you could have some kind of tactical problems. It's very tempting to play. I'm just going to play d5. Alright, d takes c, and we'll try to exploit that move order. Did I have the same position in 2 games, or is it my imagination? Bishop h5. Bishop f5. Interesting move. I did have this against somebody else recently. Bishop f5. Maybe I played c4. Seemed like a sharp move. Alright, let's try it. c3 Sicilian. And the classical dragon. A reversed classical dragon. And this weird Nimzo here. Advanced Caro-Kann. Thanks for joining me for my simul, guys. Whatever happens, win, lose, draw. Now d4. Move 11 playing this Moscow variation. Or what is it? Can't remember now. Delta Psi. Try something interesting against Delta Psi. And then b5 was played. Got a couple King's Indians. Pawn 7. Nobody likes to play knight b3, which is like the normal move in the classical dragon. Franco with bishop c4. Fresh Kid said, it's good you played the first moves faster today. Yeah, I mean, I've got to be faster. I mean, last time, it's just too much. I've been taking too much time. So yeah, that's definitely, I think, the right idea. You're this weird position with that knight on g5. I'm going to play c6. It's a little passive, but it kills his bishop. Kind of killing his bishop on... How should I handle this? Should I play rook d1, or should I just play c3 and defend my pawn? Bishop b5 check from Ismail. I wonder if we should try to play a Najdorf type of plan for a change. I usually play bishop d7 in these types of positions. Azim Lisutari, he has a new opening every day. He's got the King's Indian, now the Rossolimo, Ragozin Rossolimo. It's the same idea. You put your bishop out there. Now what? Bishop e2, safe move. Knight takes d4, remove 11, the classic. H6 Karo Khan. Yeah, so we are trying to play faster. So Fatih Mehmet, this is an unusual order of moves going on here. I was thinking about, yeah, let's just play knight c6. Alright, c4. Interesting order of moves there from Morphy-Tal Fischer. Don't know what's up with that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do against this c4. Oh boy, I don't know. I'll just try to be principled. Let's see. Is that principled what I just did? I'm not sure. BC chess hopefully made a mistake. Kind of complicated position. Alright, yeah, I'm not going to waste too much time. This pawn 7 just playing non-theory here, staying with the dragon type of idea of queen d2, but he's castled king side. It's kind of weird. Usually they play knight b3 in the classical dragon with white. Then you're like, why bother to play knight b3? You just leave your knight there in the center. Did I play d6 yet in that game? e3. Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time as I have in other simuls. Wow, I almost played knight a3. That is actually, maybe he opens the b file against himself if he takes an a3. It's kind of an interesting concept. But anyway, f3. White's coming to get me. I'm gonna have to do something here. h6. So we're playing 25 boards. It's not that easy. Am I supposed to play bishop d3 first? I can't do that. I have to play knight f3. And bishop g4 from Dos Sekis. Knight takes e5 doesn't work. I remember one of his books, Grandmaster Shuba had a game where somebody did something like this. The very early bishop g4 looks a bit provocative, but it wasn't quite the same position. I'm just gonna defer to a sensible developing moves. Now f4 from pawn 7. I sort of wasted a move with bishop d7. Queen a4. Threatening cd, I guess. What am I supposed to do after that? Play cd myself? So, it's a bit strange. This queen b6 move. A bit strange. Knight to e5. Doesn't develop anything. Why is the move not obvious to me here, what white should do? D takes c5 allows bishop takes c5 with tempo. CD knight takes d5. I don't think that's that great for black. Interesting move from GCEW. I've got 2 games in this. Smyslov. Smyslov Kings Indian. Chess Quack. Good to see you. Ambitious opening. You like it. Which one? The Botvinnik variation? Queen B6. Are you talking about me or him? The Botvinnik there against... You couldn't have been talking about that, though. Looks like we grab a pawn here. Queen takes D5. Alright. So Chess Quack, I wasn't sure which you're talking about. Franco, we had a number of games like this already on the stream. This is... I don't know how many people have played this variation so far. Queen B6. I played this a number of times. I'm going to go super solid here. Bishop E2 is a very quiet move from Lenchen. Bishop E3 is like the professional move. I was actually working with one of my students on this line. Maybe I should take with the pawn. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes... What's up with that? I'll just play E6. So, Queen B4 is a strange idea here from B chess. He's down a pawn, man. I mean, I don't know about this. This is pretty weird. Wow. Super bizarre position. Knight C6. Yeah, let's try it this way. Like, not getting into the ridiculous time pressure that I usually do would be nice. Just playing faster in the early stages. No mercy. Okay, so knight takes d5 now. We could just play knight c3. I mean, that feels like a natural developing move. Knight takes, pawn takes. Then he sort of holds on to this pawn. Knight h4 loses a pawn. Just d takes c. Rook d1. d1 is asking for trouble, I think. Man, strange. You've never seen a4 so early. Well, this, yeah, that's my patented. If you haven't seen it, that's good for me, because this is my patented variation. I used to have a lot of analysis on this line. This is actually a pretty important side variation, man. Knight e5, knight takes e5. This is really strange. It should be good for white somehow, but I don't see it. Maybe I see it now. Wow, this is strange. I don't see it. Maybe I see it now. I've said that too many times today. Let's try this. Oh, interesting move. A3 from Guitar Player. It's an interesting move. Just do like G6 or something. So G takes F, bishop E2. Wow, knight to C3, Rune. We are on our own. And now we're on our own. That's what the old Fritz said. Alright, now I have a trick here, but it probably fails to something I missed. But E4 looks like it wins a piece. It's kind of a cheapo. Alright. Man, I made a move against Jeroen already, and it like took it back. I hate when that happens. Okay. So, Pawn Spenker is like taking his time, but I'm not going to give you the time win. Alright. Pawn Pawn takes pawn. You got main line. Caro-Kann here. White sacrificed a piece in this game, which is really crazy. E5's kind of an interesting move. Double-edged idea. But why not? And then E5. I think I've had this position before. Moisson. Why would I play knight F3 there? All right, guys. You could take with the queen in this one. It's kind of interesting to recapture with the queen. Dos dropped a piece there. We'll take all the blunders we can get because it's hard to play 25 players at once. I've never actually faced this bishop g5 in this position, but why not? Makes sense. So I'm thinking there was a Nesbedinov game where somebody played that against him, actually. Delta Psi. I vaguely recall something like that happening in one game. Alright. So we're just gonna try to stay ahead of you guys on the clock, which is really important. Knight e4 here. Wow. Knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, queen takes d8. That really ought to be okay for me. I mean, who knows though? Should I play bishop takes e7? Yeah, maybe. Bishop takes e7 as well. Knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, queen takes d8, bishop takes d8, bishop takes. I'm temporarily up a pawn there. I play like knight d2 and like b4. I don't know. If I play cd, I lose a piece. I've got to play bishop takes e7, queen takes e7, cd, knight takes c3, b takes c, ed, queen takes d5, and I'm up a pawn, but my structure's bad. This is kind of a tough call. Interesting. Alright, I don't know. I'm not sure about that position. Bishop b7, castle. Probably. I had tons of analysis on that. At one point, Scheveningen. Now knight c3. Knight takes e5. What is this? A similar game, but not the same. That's tricky sometimes when you've got like these two games that are very similar but not quite the same. We're up a pawn here. Happy about that. And now what? Play knight e1. Looks like we have to play knight e1. Don't really see another option. Grab this pawn. I don't think there's a question here. Our mainline Caro-Kann territory there. And now pawn 7. Pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, queen b6 check, grab the pawn on b2. It's kind of dangerous. Wasn't really my main idea. But there may be other things I can do. Alright. Jeroen. Positional maestro. Alright, bishop b5 there. So this is looking more like a Slav than a Caro-Kann against more Vital Fischer. And then a6. I think d5, man. I'm supposed to play d5 if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I looked at that line, Scheveningen. It's quite sharp. And when I analyzed it, the computers in those days weren't quite as strong as they are now. All right, let's get out of the center here. Rook e8 from Azim Lisutari, who's, I think he's taken my advice and started to learn some serious openings. So CD not that great here. A3 maybe. Pick off a piece. Got a few games where he managed to win a piece fairly early on, which doesn't hurt our cause. Now where do I go with my knight in this game? Knight a5. Looks kind of awkward, but what can you do? Welcome everybody, International Master William Paschall here. We're going to try to blockade. We're up a piece here. That's always a good thing. Usually a good thing. Not always a good thing. Streaming on lichess and Twitch. Pawn Spanker is really using a lot of time. Maybe he's playing simultaneously in the bullet tournament. Now rook e8, or do I want to go bishop takes d6? Rook e8 is one line. I don't mind. We're up a pawn. Which rook do we use? The f rook? Hard to say. Move 11 is kind of like, what am I supposed to do there? Usually they exchange on c6 move 11, so you've like transposed to you've actually transposed to a normal like line of the rouser. Very old variation of the Caro-Kann against Zootides. Now rook e1. I'm thinking b5 or b6 here. I guess b5? Oh, he wants to do like these fancy piece sacrifices. I better be careful with Ismail because it looks like the guy could have some kind of sick piece sacrifices. King e7. Okay, so e4 here. h6 and g5. And that looks like a very vital possibility. What am I doing in this position? I'm bringing my knight back to reality. How about that for a move? Back in the center. Long time since I studied the classical Caro-Kann. Knight f6. Sorry. Queen a4. And maybe queen a4 wasn't the safest square, but now you played this move. I have queen b6 check, take on b2. Wow. Oh, man, he's defending his pawn on e4, pawn 7. What if queen check? So we're going to find out. Okay, d6. I don't really like the queen on c2 in these lines, Jan Brown. And my knight on d5 is hanging out. f3. f3, I drop a piece. Damn, I don't drop it actually. I do drop it, yeah. We need to be careful here. Maybe d3. d3 and f3, knight e3. Let's just play knight e3. Very safe move. We do have some lucky games where we won some pieces. Now queen e4. Asking for trouble if I do that. Let's just trade queens. Whoa, knight takes c3, bishop takes d8, knight takes d1. That looks okay to me. Kind of expected a recapture there. Yeah, the idea here was to get rid of that bishop on b3. In that position, I'm up a piece. I'm getting castled against a guitar player. I don't know who that is. I mean, that could be a troll account, because we have a friend of the stream who is named Guitar Player, and he's could be somebody trolling that person. The chance of a random Guitar Player account is kind of small. Okay, so knight a6 here. Just going to develop my pieces. Takes e4. Up a piece here. No piece drops. You guys take your time, because time is money. Knight d5. What are we doing? Like queen a5 or something crazy? Can we try queen a5? Really looks a little crazy. Knight d5. Jeroen, what do you think here, man? Should I develop my pieces? Last time you traded down, you traded me to death. Looks like you could be threatening to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to take a risk here. Just in case you're thinking about castling queenside, Jeroen. Just in case you have any ideas as such. Queen takes b2. I don't think... Actually, queen takes b2. Why not? What am I afraid of here? Hold on a second. Queen takes b2, rook b1, queen a3, rook b3, queen a5. Yeah, actually, this is kind of a bluff, no? Queen takes b2 seems like a bluff. Could I have taken it before? My bishop wasn't on c6. Alright, move 11. Yeah, I've seen this before. It's not a standard position. But actually, it is sort of a standard position. Okay, h6. I don't like you attacking my... I don't like you attacking my f2 pawn so much, sir. Let's go back here. Now, delta psi gave up the dark squared bishop. I think that's a risky decision long term. Takes d1. Rook takes d1. Should remain up a pawn there. And we've got some good games today. Guys, we do a weekday stream. Also, Blitz and Classical Chess. Monday to Friday here on lichess. 10 a.m. CEST. We got b5, b4, and take the pawn on e4 in this position. We are up a piece there too. Bishop d2. It's a kind of quiet move. I think black has a very solid Slavlik position in that Caro-Kann. Now f3. Black is kind of going for it here, trying to checkmate me. I need to open up the center. d3 looks okay now. Knight c7 from Malutz. Rook b1, queen a3. And this Caro-Kann, I know I'm supposed to play c4. This is a very old line, going back to, you know, the 50s. Queen e2 at some point. I'm not sure when I'm supposed to play queen e2. I may have missed rook h4 there in that Caro-Kann. Maybe rook h4 is a theoretical move. My favorite line of the King's Indian. Ismail now with bishop g5. He's 1400. It's based on 97 games, so that should be, that rating should be legit. b4, well, not just b6 or b5. Do I want to play b6 or b5? Alright, knight d7 now from Azim Lisutari. It's a little passive, and I've seen this idea before. I need to not waste too much time around here. Maybe bishop d3 loses a tempo. Pawn Spanker playing unusual variation. e5. Okay, guys. Well, it's not the bullet marathon. The Chaos says, have you played King Crusher, the other streamer? No, I never played with King Crusher except, yeah, maybe there was a video he posted of a game I played with him on ICC where I was probably playing like 7 or 8 poker tables at the time when I played this 5-minute game with King Crusher. I think it was like a couple of years ago. I was playing a lot of poker. Most of the time when I played 5-minute games, I was probably playing a lot of poker tables at the same time. And so he was like totally lost and then swindled me or something. I think he posted that video on YouTube, but I haven't played too many games with him. Rook C1. I don't know what to do now in this one. I'm kind of stuck. Yeah, so King Crusher, as far as I know, like probably 1 or 2 blitz games, you know, on the internet chess club or something. Not too many. All right, Bishop H6. Black's up 2 pieces now against Phil Conan, so he's been too generous with the material. Queen A5. You called your bluff, and now knight takes B6. Yeah, we've seen this. We can't take with queen, allowing, you know, Bishop B5 winning a piece there. Something of a popular variation I face quite often for some reason. Here we have a slightly better ending. Although knight takes D6 is kind of unclear. How good is my bishop in this kind of position? That's really the important question. I'm not really sure how good my bishop is here, objectively. I feel like I'm wasting too much time. Rook takes D5. And bishop. This is getting weird. My queen is defended, but he's got tricks. Maybe I take on G4 and then take on... Then I don't take anywhere. Bishop E5? Really? Alright. Queen B3 allows knight D4. Take on G4. Develop a piece somehow. Any idea how to do that? Anybody? Just F3, trying to win a piece. F4, F3. This is getting a little too weird for my tastes. You know, guys? What is up with this position? Queen B3. Alright. I don't know. I'm going to take this. Piece here. Bishop D6. I think that's theory. We have to go back. Position's pretty well known. And we have a bishop here. I like this dark squared bishop. G6 maybe. My development is okay. Win another piece. Queen A5 check. And now in this King's Indian, we have a very comfortable Benoni. Keep him cramped with H3, stopping knight G4. What was embarrassing and awful dose? You dropped a piece. Understand, but you're still making a game of it. And now knight C4 is a threat. Is it a threat? Pawn takes D4. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know. King D2. Okay, so against pawn 7 now, he's down a pawn. Maybe I'll develop my last piece here. Rook D8 makes sense. Yeah. Alright, we've got 35 minutes for the most part in these games. Oh, interesting move there. Knight F3. Bishop B7. Bishop B7's okay, actually. Doe said this is embarrassing, but he's still fighting. Try to checkmate me on h2. Got a lot of space too. I can always like play h4, I guess, if I have to. Really should develop a piece here. Man, this is a bit weird. This is really a bit weird. I feel like I need to break out with some kind of... You could sack a piece back, I guess, if I have to. We have an extra piece to give, right? Knight b5. I was talking about this with someone recently. Lenchen. I think that's a move, right? Queen b8, g3, a6. Queen b8, g3, knight d5. Bishop c4, a6. It's like theory. Am I supposed to play queen back to d8 now? It may be better. I don't think knight b5 is a good move there. Really, for black? Well, let's not drift into any sort of time pressure. Yeah, now if I try to play b4, he opens it up with... He opens the position with a5. And I've got problems. So I kind of have to give the pawn back here. It was not my original plan. Fatih Mehmet. That's pretty impressive, man. Bishop b5 is interesting too. But then he has knight takes c5. Interesting. Bishop f4, knight d5. Here, grabbing a piece. And then this is, wow. No move. Rook e8, only move. Alright, I like it when you guys make moves when I have like only one move. It makes it so much easier. Wow, okay. This is pretty like equal. Equal. Similar to equal. Slightly different. Alright. Castle's queenside, very sharp attempt there. To be a little careful of some tricks with knight b5 or something. You know, like sack a piece. I don't think you can do that. I don't think so. Alright. d8. This has all probably been played before. My game here against... Why do I need to play g3 here? Not really sure. My h-pawn needs to stay protected. I guess c4 is sort of normal. So bishop g3, and then what's the deal with this? a6, right? Lenchen. This is some sort of like... Okay, now here the point is that I can take on e5. I lose a piece. But I can take on f3. Yeah, this looks kind of computery. Pawn takes e5, queen takes d7. I could just play knight d5 as well, though. It looks like white's kind of okay in this position. I don't really want to give up my bishop, do I? Strange. And if I play knight d5, knight e4, he has sort of thematic stuff. So if I take on f3, he takes the queen, developing a piece. Strange that I have like nothing here. I don't want to develop his pieces for him. c5, rook c3. So black did really well there. Fatih Mehmet. Not to like lose any material from that somewhat semi-dubious. If I play bishop a6, then he just castles queenside. I think I've been in this position before, Franco. I've had this position exactly before another interesting game. Bishop a6, castles queenside. Interesting. Yep. So rook c8. I'm tempted to play like c5 now and just shut it down. So I had a similar game against somebody. Was it you? Was it you, sir? 5-card draw. Is it every Sunday? Every Sunday. All I'll do I can against the 2400 when I'm 1600. You missed the Simul 5-card draw. Wow, I play Queen A5. Jeroen plays Castles Queenside anyway, man. I mean, is that brave or what? He doesn't respect. He doesn't respect the Bishop A6. Here Bishop H4, Bishop F4. All these moves are interesting. Bishop E3. It's kind of hard to decide where to put this bishop. Move 11. Solid line. Now Queen F2 with like threats. I should probably trade dark squared bishops here. That bishop on C5 looks a little odd now. After D4, I don't win a piece. Maybe not. Alright, Queen B6. Queen B6, or Bishop G4. Yeah, this is probably okay. I can also play Knight B8 in this position. I kind of like Queen B6 to develop the piece. Bishop takes, Rook takes. Knight C3. I think this Lenshin guy beat me last time. I don't remember how it was. This is all some sort of prepared variation. I knew this guy Ted McHugh from Connecticut who played the same line. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like take on C3 and play B5 or what. Take on C3, play B5, he plays A4. He always has like counterplay, so it's better to castle, I guess. Ted McHugh. Where are you? Ted. The Ted Meister. 2300 player. Alright, now this move, it leaves me in the end game, leaving me in the end game, if I can speak properly. E5 takes, knight takes, is interesting here. He's threatening D5. It's going to be pretty hard to stop it, so I guess we change directions. I'm not really sold on that. There was a guy on my team today who had a similar position and like didn't play A4 and let black break out. It was ridiculous. I mean, if you have a chance to shut black down with A4 there, you absolutely need to do it. Now we could sack an exchange here. Pawn takes E4. Takes on A1. Queen takes A1. Kind of like that. Or just Rook B1 is also good. So I guess it's... Maybe we sack the exchange. It's really not that big a deal to sack the exchange here. It looks really good for white. Okay. Against pawn 7, I think we're good. Here we're good. We've got a good king. Got to take with the queen now. I thought 94 was also a move there. Pass Freya with a very flexible sort of setup, but I don't really like... how to say, I don't really like black playing Benoni's, you know, with like Benoni's. Well, actually, this is a strange position where white can play. I mean, black can play G5 at a later time. If I play D5 here, G5, Bishop G3, Knight H5, Knight D2, leads to a kind of normal position, actually, for this variation. Alright, well, I guess that's where we're going to end up. Now Knight D5. Jeroen, stopping me from my direct approach. Knight D5, Knight takes D5. That should be a little better for black. It's not all that clear, though. Jeroen seems pretty good in endgames, pretty solid. Been around the block. He likes to trade pieces and reach holdable endgames. Not sure how much he likes complications. What about something interesting here? Okay, let's just build up. Now knight g6. That looks good for me. Try not to get into time pressure today. Queen e2. Now that move, an odd choice. I expected white to play queen d2. Maybe queen e2 is good too. He doesn't move any pawns, Franco. Maybe I should just castle. Alright, whatever. ZD-Deuce with a main line of the Caro-Kann here. Sometimes they play g3 in these kind of... I'm not sure why I would need to do that. I don't think in this position it matters so much. Does it? Is there any reason for g3 per se? Just kind of weaken my pawn structure. And white doesn't have to lose a piece here because of bishop b4. So this will turn into basically like a positional struggle, I think. f7, f7. I don't want to lose my f7. We'll trade queens. In this one we have the bishop pair. And then rook on the 7th. Some technical endings. This bishop on c1, not that easy for me to use, really. Black is pretty solid here. Oh, Archer's a master, I forgot. Okay, he's 2275. No wonder it's not like playing badly. Black's quite solid. What should I do? Not sure. Not sure. Not really sure. I said that already. Very solid position for black, though. It's to put his knight on d5, I would presume. Well, anyway. Alright, a routine move. Sack the exchange here against Dos, because we're up a piece to begin with, so I don't mind. And then knight e5 with the proverbial defense of the h5 pawn. And then now we have bishop g4, or maybe knight b8. Knight b8 looks a little more solid. The classic Slav maneuver. Knight b8. The secret move. Okay, so now against Fatih, we have quite the position. Just play h4. Knight a6. Castles. Where to put my king in this one? Probably in the center on e7 and hang out. This is a good game, guys. Bishop d7, bishop e6. Move 11 coming to get me with f4. But your bishop's on g5. Do I have any sort of tactical tricks? h6. Knight takes... Isn't something hanging like knight takes d4? Bishop takes d7. In between move he has. I'm starting to take too much time. Let's throw this in. And now... Very good position here. e5 is even possible, but queen d2. Azim Lisutari. We have a massive space advantage against him here. Maybe that's not the best move. I reacted a little quickly there. Black's trying to play, what, bishop Bishop a6. Bishop a6 freeing himself. Is it so easy? Well, if bishop a6, I have knight e6. I have knight c6 too. g3. I'll make a neutralish move there. Neutralish. Queen takes. Actually, why? Why not? Why ask why? Alright, 28 minutes. Polar Bear. Heinrich Danielson, who played it, the Polar Bear, the reverse Leningrad. Yeah, I think that Jeroen is like a world-leading expert, probably. We've got a good game here. Made a good decision to sack the exchange. I was a little scared there, honestly. Wow, Scheveningen took forever on this position. I'm probably still in analysis here. The only problem is that I don't remember it. But I'm pretty sure we're still in analysis against Scheveningen. Ye old b6. Is b6 even necessary though? I mean, is that a move I even want to play? Knight on a2 is pretty sad piece. Bishop e6. And bishop f8 is a move. Knight h5. Let's try this funky move. King's Indian. h3, stopping bishop g4, which was an alternative last move against Morphy Fischer. Now I see this move. Bishop e2 is a good move. I want to allow bishop g4 there. Queen c2. Slenchen beat me already once. It's unrated. Now, as I said earlier, in the future, I'm not going to play accounts like this that have, you know, no rated games, and but I think he might have actually, just for example, I think he might have actually sent me a message and explained his situation or something. But I just want to avoid this type of rated players in the future. Looks like he's got a decent game here. Knight b4 though. Then he goes queen d2. Alright, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. The like kind of classic Caro-Kann, hunker down. Knight c5. Knight d4. Now Black played knight g4. I didn't see that move in pre-calculated analysis. Take, queen f6. He's got queen f6. Queen f4 is interesting for white. Looks good. If it looks good, play it. That's my new motto. Queen f3. Look at this move. Franco, he beat me last time too. Now he's playing another game that's like kind of scaring me. No pawn moves. Alright, e5 now. Takes, knight takes, not convincing. I didn't expect g5. That's a very, very reckless move by black. Wow. Can you do that? I didn't think you could do that. That is a serious pawn move. h4 is possible. I mean, what do you do after h4? g4? Man, h4, g4, are you serious? Can you do that? Alright, we're getting a little bit lower on time now, so we gotta play solid. The ZD do's with the scary fast play. Rook e7. A b4 c5 is possible. b4 c5, giving up, yeah, knight d5 type ideas. I've got to do something though before it gets too late. I don't want to get in this ridiculous time pressure again. Now here he's threatening bishop d3. So knight c6. I don't see anything wrong with knight c6, but he's going to get some counterplay there, so maybe I kind of misplayed this. Activating his bishop. Okay, now h5. Rook f8. Bishop takes e4. This looks good now. 24 minutes remaining. Knight g4. What is your own play if knight g4? Knight d5. I don't know about this now. Rook d8. He's threatening like knight g5 in some lines. Alright, rook d1. That looks like a solid move. What am I doing here against Lenchin? Can we do like knight takes c3, b takes c, b5? Looks dangerous. It honestly looks dangerous, man. I mean, I'm going to just play like solid, rock solid. Yeah, this guy Franco beat me once already. I think it's going to be 2 times. This is a very, very scary position. He's playing like perfectly. Another player who's relatively unrated. I don't know what to do in this position. Looks like it's sort of a trap. You got fallen into a trap. Trappy position. I really don't know what to do here. King h8 or something. But you have a suggestion there. I'm kind of running out of ideas. Now in this one, bishop h3, queen c7, c5. I don't know if this works tactically or not. Here we have a good ending. Maybe just like b6 or something. I should trade rooks. Bring his king to the center. I mean, I'm up a pawn here, but do I really want to bring his king to the center? You know? I'm a little concerned about this, but I guess I have to do this. Now there, and now b3, h6. h6 is somewhat paralyzing, but I still don't really think I'm winning here. a3. I don't have any tactics in this position. Maybe bishop d5. Jan Brown. Jan Brown has a winning score against me, 2.5, 1.5. Other player with very few games. It's like a total mystery. It should be a good position, but white's too solid here for black to make any progress. Doe says yes, it's hopeless. Yeah, that one is probably hopeless now, but a lot of them are not. I've got takes here. Rook takes. Pawn takes. Pawn takes c6. Oh man, I hallucinated? What is going on here? Oh, I had some sort of hallucination in this game. No, wait, I'm attacking your rook. It's not a hallucination, is it? You just outcalculated me? Rook takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. How do you take back? With a rook? No, this is... What am I doing? Rook takes d5. Zudidis is playing so fast. Wow, knight c5. This is really crazy. Bishop h5 check. And maybe b4. Stopping knight a5. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen. King f8. I hate to play king f8. It's a little passive, but h6. I think there's actually a mosquito in my office. It's hard to believe that there can be a mosquito in Budapest, Hungary, in the end of October, the middle of October. But there appears to be a mosquito. Black has fought well there. Rook e1 now. White with threats or not? Bishop f8 was my plan. We're going to go with that. We're going to go with it. I have to take with the king. No, I don't have to take with the king. Queen b6 from Freya. And I guess rook b1 in a vacuum here. I'm not sure though. Maybe queen c2 is a lot more logical. All right. Wow, f4. It's an aggressive, logical move too. Threatening like g4 or what? I guess we'll just play bishop d7. I'm getting a little bit lower on time now. f3 or bishop f4. He takes e5 check. Man, this is pretty irrational position. Here. That's a nice positional plan from Azim Lisoitari. Really, really nice positional plan. I have not seen that kind of play from him before. He's usually very tactical. This is a little different. Am I making a mistake with this move? Maybe f3. f3 keeping him kind of boxed in. 20 minutes remaining. He takes d5. Do I have any tricks? No tricks. Bishop takes b2 check. Not necessary. We should get in like c4 break somehow against Jeroen. This is surprisingly screwed up by me. A surprisingly screwed up sort of game. B rook and b4. a3. I don't know, man, if I've screwed this up or not. Feels like I screwed it up a little bit. I thought the Pasifreya should have played g5, knight h5 when she had the chance there, to be honest. Rook takes back to the f file. Threatening mate in 1. That's always a good try in the simuls, especially Ismail. Luckily it's not forced mate. And we're trying to trade down against pawn 7. Wow, uh-oh. Now e5. Maybe I should have played e5 last move against my friend here. Wow, e5 leads to fascinating complications. Holy crap. We're going to try it, man. e5 against Skevning. And move 11, I don't like that exchange. Bishop takes f6. Pawn takes Fatih. If I play that, b4, he gets in to my position. I don't think the king position here really matters that much. It's more... Yeah, Jan Brown, this guy has been very impressive against me. He's played exceedingly well. And Delta Psi is hanging on. I think black's better with the bishop pair, but I'm not really sure how I'm making progress or something like that. Now this position is good for me. I've stopped b5. Got some threats on the king side, d6 sometimes. Bishop f3. Ideas, breaking the pawns with a5. A lot of possibilities here, but I don't want to waste my time. Rook d1. Activating a piece, maybe. All right. So we think, yeah, we're thinking that the key to this is not getting in time pressure in the first place. Queen e3, classic move. Bishop e4, maybe. Then what? Knight g5. You're gonna lose the pawn there. Bishop e4 looks logical. Then he plays bishop c3. I take. It's not clear that bishop e4 does all that much, actually, here. Maybe I'm better off just playing like knight a5. Alright, king takes g5. And then Arthur is maneuvering. This will come with small threats. Proving my bishop. Then f5, wow. I think Scheveningen is, man, he's on the verge of a disaster here. Knight takes f5, pawn takes f5, queen takes f5. Probably doesn't do anything. So I have queen h4 check. We start hunting his king. I think he's lost here. Wow. h4, the first pawn move from Franco. Just really... okay, dude. Yeah. I think this is another game where I can almost give up. It's kind of a give up position. It's pretty subtle. I mean, we've seen this variation in action before, but let's try to defend my d6 pawn. I don't know. All right. Knight there. So we're gonna come back here or what? Should be 20 minutes left, which is more than enough. Knight h2. What's up, guys? Zarian. Get some spiders. We have spiders, but they're not in my office for some reason. Suzuki D is suddenly playing faster. I don't know, queen d2 was my idea, but it may not be enough. Queen d2 actually loses a piece, I think. To play like queen b2, probably. Get coordinated, right? Right. Get coordinated. Alright. Move 11. Alright. This is going to be close. Really got to make progress with my king here somehow. Yeah, I think this game against Arthur is pretty interesting. To be careful not to like overextend myself, actually. Maybe I should think about rook d5 here. Knight b6, a5. Interesting. Rook e5 is kind of weird. King e2. Just centralizing, trading pieces. It should be a draw. Bishop takes a5. Okay. Collecting the bishop pair. And now g4, another pawn move. What was I thinking here? Knight g8. It's pretty happy move for me. Queen c7. Resetting. Whew. I mean, Franco, I don't know. He must be a strong player. This is going to be hard for me to make progress, actually. Scheveningen should be toast. Got queen f6 here. But it's still not toast. It's hard to believe. It's toast. No? Queen f6. Shouldn't that, like, win a piece? He's got... Man, I mean, queen f6 looks brutal. How does he defend himself after queen f6? h5 and f3. Bishop g5 was my idea. We have a lot of options. Actually, bishop h6 looks really strong against GCEW. Ismail. Where should I go with my rook, man? He's threatening knight c5. So rook d5. Like, white's hanging on in this position. I get my rook on the 7th or something. Is that enough to win? Not really clear. Looks like he's got some counterplay. Take rook on the 7th. Rook c8. It's not so easy. I actually made a mistake there. This is not that easy for me. I thought it was going to be far easier. Very, very solid Caro-Kann position. Bishop d7. Seems okay. Alright, we're at 7:55. We've got another hour to go in the simul. Another hour or so. Powerful move f5, but abandoning more dark squares. I need to be patient here. And he's got some threats though. Knight e8. Like bishop e5 allows knight f3. Pretty advanced. I can just play g5 and try to lock the position. I don't think that's the greatest approach here for black. Or bishop f6 maybe. Alright, I'm wasting too much time. The Moroccan Falcon is putting a link to his simul. Is that my simul or your simul? I hope it's my simul, man. You wouldn't like advertise your simul in my stream, would you? That's kind of dis. So now what? Millennium Falcon. Knight a5. e6. Knight a5, I guess. We don't have anything as usual against Jan Brown. Whoever this guy is. He's like never made a mistake in his life. In a simul game. He did lose once. That's strange. Pawn 7 trades down in that ending. I don't know why you would do that. Now I did this. What? Bishop f5. Okay. So we can trade pieces here and still be better. But it's not much. d6 isn't much either. d6 takes, rook takes. Not much. So we're going to have to trade down. I don't really like it. We don't have that much edge. Look at this move. He's coming back now with like knight c5, man. Forcing my bishop off the diagonal. Maybe I should have played rook d5 or something. Queen d2. Guitar player. Man, I better be careful here. He's gonna try to mate me. But positionally, black is probably better. Rook takes c8. So it's just about playing quickly now, it would seem. Man, you can come into f5. No way. Holy crap. I guess this is like a draw. I'm up a pawn, but it's a draw. It's unbelievable. I have to get around to the other side, and I can't. Maybe it's not even a draw. Am I like worse? What? I don't know what to do here. My mouse is having troubles. So white is better. He's down a pawn. He's better here. It's sort of insane. Alright, I didn't really consider that possibility. It was a very, very bad mistake. There. And there's no way to like save a tempo. Alright, a lot of tough games. You win some, you lose some. Should try g6 here. queen g3. Yeah, it's a pretty subtle game by white. Interesting. I just want to resign. I just don't know. e5, I guess I have to play. It's pretty grotesque. I just don't imagine what else I can do here. Grotesque e5. And now knight d3 or knight f3. I'm gonna offer a draw against Archer there. I think probably is a fair draw offer. Can't we win this pawn? Now Jeroen, do we have anything, sir? King b2, I have to say I missed that. d4. Can we try to build up, maybe? King f5. I guess we can hold there, but we're not going to win. Yeah. Rook takes rook. Morphy Fischer. I'm a slightly better position. I'm in a slightly better position there. Okay, b4. Wow. White's not trying to play on the queen side, and Archer's playing for a win. I think objectively he's right. He's better here. Jeez. Technical players. Azim Lee Soitari not playing like himself today. He's playing like a different man. Maybe just the time control, I don't know. But he's playing very positionally. This is kind of uncharacteristic. Azim Lee Soitari, when did you become so positional, sir? We're better against Morphy Fischer. Now a6, I guess. I think we should hold, but barely. Knight d2, that move, man. Ponspanker seems to like use all his time on purpose or something. He wants to try to win by time later on. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's very strange. He always like uses immense amounts of time early on and then moves like instantly in time pressure. Now this move, rook d2, letting me on the 7th. Looks like a mistake. Wow. Maybe I made another mistake here. I have to play king g7. Looks kind of scary, but it's okay. I think this is probably still okay for me. a5. What's up? Isn't a3 a better move there? I have a mate here, like e5. And e5 looks brutal. What is he going to do after e5? f5? e5, f6? Man, that looks horrifying. What does black do? Alright. Queen c4 now. Breathing deeply. Take a deep breath and then make the move. Alright. Knight d4. And we're slightly better against Smullets. Well, that's a variation you just have to know. Shoving it in. And you went into like a really sharp form of it too. Honestly. I mean, it wouldn't be too hard. It's not that much about form as it is like just theoretical knowledge. In that case, I mean, anybody could just lose in 15 moves there. So, alright, we have to kind of pick up the pace here against the positional maestro, Azim Lee Soitari. And knight takes in b5 or something. He takes g6 and b5. How am I supposed to play this? Does anybody know? Am I supposed to play f4? Maybe. It's crazy, huh? Now king f6. Maybe we're winning. I don't think we're winning, though. I mean, is it really possible to win? Everything is possible. h6 is possible. Possible that Franco makes a mistake. Now knight there. Queen d6. I'm getting a little low on time. Queen c3. What do I do now? Can't oppose the file. Sigh. Queen d7 or something? Yeah, I guess. It's kind of lame, but I actually chose a really silly plan there. Oh, he's got a4 coming next? Or what? Yeah, maybe Ismail's playing for the win here. I guess he's playing for the win, seriously. He's outplaying me. Now we walk in with the king, like king d4. Well, we have knight e7 check. He actually just blundered. Jeez, that was lucky. I was worried about that game against Fatih so much too. Knight b3 now. Very bad square for knight. He's attacking a5 again. That's okay. Queen a5. What is this? River guarding rook. And then this move. I don't know. Let's get our last piece in the game. Knight f4. Defend like a rock there. We're winning after f5 check, no? f5 check. Pawn 7's only weakness is his endgame. I did notice that earlier. Bad bishop or no bad bishop. Good move. Bishop c2. Well, now this is interesting. I mean, how do you make progress there? Knight takes pawn. King b3 now. Wow. What am I doing now in this weird position? King b3. h4 now. Black should be a little better here, but I'm really hurting for space. So like c5 is... really sure what I'm doing in this game. Something active, maybe for a change. Knight e5, knight f5, rook c8, bishop c6, knight f5. That's super solid. Knight takes f6, knight takes f6. Super solid. Look at this guy. Knight c6. Lynching. Bishop b5 is even an idea. Really sure. But I'm going to run out of time soon. Alright, now e5, the Yuri Shulman strategy, which isn't really good for black. We have a lot of options here. g4 is even interesting. And then now what? h5, and we're winning against pawn 7. Ooh, that was kind of a close one. Knight d6, knight e7, knight g7, knight d4 is always good. Man, you're hanging tough, man. Yeah. I'm gonna try to beg for a draw. against our friend. What if a6 now, b5? I think I have to take. And Jeroen is hanging on again. Hanging on again. Man. The queen is like misplaced in this position. It's actually misplaced. Pawn spanker down to 3 minutes. His usual 3 minutes situation. It looks like I'm very, very deeply in trouble there. And passive Freya playing like an old school player. Knight e4, knight takes e4, knight takes e4, g5, knight takes d6. Alright, let's go for it. And this one is interesting too. F3 is kind of weakening actually. Alright, we've got just enough time here to save ourselves. And now this move, rook c1, that doesn't do anything. We're going to get back to business against guitar player 7. But actually the guitar player guy, I don't know who it is. Could be our guitar player, could be another player. E6 now. Is that okay? A lot of endings, but this should be a win. Take h4 check. We just walk in. Pawn 7. Young player, he needs to work on his endings. Knight takes e4. And now bishop a5. Wow, that is illegal. Not illegal, but it loses. It just loses stuff, you know. Knight e4, huh? Well, not my problem. It's not my problem. All right. Yep. King b3. And against that dude, we may be lost. F4 here. It's to play. Actually, what is going on here? Pawn spanker, knight d5. The kind of weird position. H4 check. And that extra pawn matters. So Delta Psi exchanged. I don't know what he's doing. If he's got a trick or not. But Ismail, I mean, this guy's 1400. I mean, he's pretty damn strong 1400. Honestly. Pawn takes a4. We're begging for a draw from a position of strength. Always a good thing. Knight e6. Is that good enough? Knight c6, maybe better. He's kind of boxed in with knight c6. I need to get my king in the game there. Now passive Freya. I'm threatening knight check. Take. Knight d7. G4 would be nice, but I can't play it. And bishop f6. Man, I feel like passive Freya. I can play f4 here. Maybe f4. Jeez, I didn't plan on this. I didn't plan it this way, but maybe I have to do this. It's kind of weird. I thought I made a move. That's the second time. Jeroen has some kind of trick. Since he's a moderator, he knows how to. How am I gonna? This looks bad, man. Maybe I'm just lost. Outside pawn he's got no matter what. So queen c3. Right. Bishop d2 is illegal. Not illegal, it loses material. Alright. So I want to see that queen. I want your pieces out of my position, man. Get out of my position. Now, please. Queen d2. 12 minutes, 11 minutes. Time is counting. Got knight b6, bishop b6. Knight b6, bishop b6. Knight b6 looks pretty good. It's a move. We're in trouble there. We're in pretty good position here, actually. Knight g3, he wants to set up that. I need to get rid of that possibility. Like bishop h4. He's going to play like knight d4 if I do that. Alright, so I don't know. Is this winning for Artur or not? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. It's pretty marginal. I'm lucky if I hang on against Artur. Bishop a3. Get my own bishop trap too. Bishop a3, knight d2, bishop d2, knight b1. And, I mean, how am I making progress there? Let's just walk with the king. Fighting for a draw here. Looks like. Big time. When in doubt, centralize your kings. That's what I say. Well, he's actually sacking a pawn. No, he's not. Never mind. Knight takes f6, knight takes f6. Yes. Lin Chen. Pretty strong. We walk in with the king now. Is it too early for that? Check. Trade rooks. Not sure, man, what is going on here. Now what? Bishop e1, bishop b2 maybe. Yeah, I mean, as strange as it seems, maybe bishop b2 is just best. Offers me a draw. He offers me a draw. Wow, dude, that's just this. That's this. All right. Yeah. Knight c4. Man. What am I doing here? Huge position. 10 minutes. 10 minutes left. Queen d2. Okay, why not? Wow, I definitely missed that shot. That could be like game over. Holy crap. Would I have queen f4 check? I have queen f4 check. Saving my butt. Does that save me? It doesn't hurt to play queen f4 check first. Offers me a draw. I mean, I don't think I'm better here. Am I? Yeah, it seems like a fair draw, Ismail. Good game, man. Pretty flawless performance. I thought I was better, but then I thought I wasn't better anymore. So your draw is correct. Wow, bishop there, man. That's a nasty move. I have to be very careful here. I think I should simplify and try to hang on. Alright, so this game we're coming back. I thought that I was a dead man against Franco, but finally he made some weaknesses. F5, sacrifices. Passive Freya, nice move. I have pawn takes pawn here? She's playing. She or he, I don't know, I guess. We don't know. Playing like Yuri Shulman. It's pretty impressive. F5 just isn't going to work. Or is it? I don't think so. Man, just rejected. Pawn takes pawn. Actually, pawn takes pawn. Got to try it. 9 minutes and counting. Man, we got these knights. Knights. Jan Brown. Man, this guy is tough. Luncheon. Luncheon. Rook c8 doesn't help my cause. I'm thinking like rook b8 or something. For lack of a better idea. Have to be really careful here actually. Rook b8, d5. Pawn takes d5. Actually, that's not so scary. Alright. Bishop takes e5. Knight check. Take, 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 take. This is kind of scary position, but I don't really have a choice, I don't think. Bishop takes b3. We've got a monster white squared bishop there. And Jeroen coming to get you. Coming to get you. It's like House of Pain. Rook takes c4. Yeah. Alright, c4. Just when you thought it was safe to get out of the water. Man. Can you do that? Is it good? Those are the two questions most asked. Bishop b4. Technique is our only chance. Now, delta psi, tactics, maybe. Knight e6 I wanted to play. Actually, what's wrong with it? Okay, it's okay. Man, this guy offered me a draw. That's brutal. I guess it was a joke. I need to have a little more sense of humor, you know? It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of a sense of humor sometimes. And this, man, f4. So, man, he's still coming at me. These knights are angry. I don't need to play knight b4 necessarily, though. Probably doesn't hurt, but just b6. Strengthening the dark square control. We could even rook takes f6 is a little too fancy here. I think I'm having some hallucinations about this position, though, which isn't really good. No choice now. All right. So I've got knight takes e2, queen b3 check, king c1. Where there's also knight takes e2, queen b3 check, bishop d2. Man, that's crazy. Something like that. Dropping my guy. Well, king takes or pawn takes. But king takes. This could get really messy. Pawn takes. What am I going to do? Alright. Wow. Playing for mate. Bishop takes, rook takes. Passive Freya. Rook c6 here, I guess. Queen takes. Knight g5. Get the knight in the game, man. Get it in the game. Wow, g5 actually risky move, like slightly risky move, I think. King g7, I thought might have had better there. My rook is misplaced. Deep breath and alright, now what? Man, king g7, passive Freya. I guess rook f3. Defending the e3 backward pawn. Yeah, Azim Lee Sutari playing like a different player. It's kind of odd. Alright. Maybe I should just like close the position. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And then Jeroen is panicking, man. I think you're panicking. I think you're panicking, dude. No need to panic. Morphy-Tau Fischer now. Knight there. Wow, king c4. There's reason to panic here. This is different now. The knight before is kind of good now. Okay. King c2. Maybe a5. Has c4. It's still not that clear. And this is annoying position. I don't want to get in too drastic time pressure here. Like almost hanging pieces. It's got to be a mate. Knight d3 check, queen here. I mean, I don't think I have any advantage against Jan Brown. Now, queen b3 check, king c1, bishop b2. Bishop b2, rook takes. I get mated there with a sick mate? No, it's not that simple. Bishop b2, rook takes, queen c1, rook takes b2, queen takes c2, queen takes d1 check, queen c1. And I like lost in a king and pawn endgame. But that's good. Let's try king c1. King c1, then rook takes, and I have to play bishop d2. It looks like it looks like in that position I might not lose, but I might. You never know. Maybe I do anyway. It's got some study like move. Yeah, it looks like it. So let's make sure now. King a1. Yeah, looks like mate. Bishop b2. Well, bishop b2. Rook takes. And I have another move there that I forgot about. But it doesn't matter. It's all the same. If you go in the queen ending, I'm down a pawn and I'm like threatening mate on c8. I'm not sure. Zudidis, look at this combination. He's down 2 pieces and he's like winning. How the heck is that possible? King c1, rook takes, threatening mate, and then bishop d2. He's got some study-like move after that. Possibly. I don't know what else to do. Alright, well, that's it. I just hung a pawn. That's fantastic. I hung a pawn. Unbelievable, man. Wow. Well, bishop h3. Wow, I just hung it. That is terrible blunder. And now what, f6 or something? He's going to double on my pawn. This is never ending. Bishop rook d2. Wow. How am I going to defend against the triple attack here? I don't even see a defense. Azim Sutari, I don't know, man. You're playing like positional genius. Alright. Like a totally different player than usual. It's a little odd. Okay, here now knight d4 check, take. We simplify, hopefully into a better ending. We're really low on time now. I don't know, what do we do here? b6. Yeah, I know, dude. I'm just probably like losing here. Now I have to play this, like only move, bishop d2. And king d3. I'm not sure how black wins that game. Whoa, what is going on with this? Maybe that's not a good move. Not a lot of time. Finally a mate. Alright. Pawn spanker with his usual routine of like having no time. And then here my plan was what? b3? Rook d3, rook e3. There's mullets. We take our pawn back, but you get another pawn. So what's going on here? We lost all our advantage in this overwhelming position on a weird blunder. Queen g2. Man, this is like lost. Azim Sutari never played like this. Will the real Azim Sutari please stand up? Queen c3 check, rook a1. Yeah. And this guy is a brutal player. G6. He declined my draw. Well, obviously white is clearly better here. Queen a6, now you ruin. We got the better structure, but how do we make progress? Progress? I'm not sure. a5. h5, excuse me. Queen b3. And maybe bishop c6 here. No. It'll be a tactic in that instance. Bishop b5 isn't good. b6 is sort of weakening. Interesting. Now what do I do? Like queen c7 or something? Then queen b6. Maybe just queen a5. Queen a5. Looks like black has to make progress there somehow. King b1. It looks like we're making progress here against Morphy Fischer. We're down to 5 minutes in many games, or less. In some cases. All right. Well, I'm happy with the ending. That's perfectly okay. Rook d4. I don't know, man. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable how you play. Knight e6. Better play that. This Franco guy has to be at least a master. I mean, at least. Now here I shouldn't trade rooks. Do not panic. That was one of the cheating accounts played this week. From Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This move, I'm not sure if it's even good. So, not going to let you get away again. He stopped that move. Let's take the file, just fundamental. The open file. Bishop f4, b5. Azim Lisutari. This actually could prove difficult for him to make progress in. I swear I thought I moved my bishop at some point. I didn't move my bishop. Look how he's playing. He's like a tactical player. Queen a5 check. Queen b6 check. I'm lucky not to lose against ZD-Doos. Queen takes. Actually, pawn takes here allows e5, but that's not that clear. Queen takes. A bit more safe. And a lot of positions with the bishop pair that I can't really use today. Bishop pairs that aren't working very well, let's say. Here's another instance of the. We've got this feeling like Karpov. Knight takes d4, stealing a pawn. Queen c5. I think we have, you know, rook d8. Maybe better. And a5, a4. But he's got a4, he'll drop a piece. Okay, a5. Then e5, knight d5. Bishop c6 is no good. e5 is no good. I have to take on f4. That's bad. He's starting e5 now. That's bad. So I have to act very quickly there. A takes b. And then we're better here. This should be a good ending for me. Like g5 or something. Jeroen, man, you are tough as nails, dude. Wow. Jeroen, tough as nails. How am I supposed to beat you, dude? When you play like that? How am I supposed to beat you? I ask you. How do you expect me to beat you? Your king is a little suspect, but what am I supposed to do? Man, take this guy out here. Queen here. d5. He's got rook takes. He's got rook takes. d5. Shouldn't be life-threatening. And what else am I supposed to do? Look at this, queen c8 now. g4. What the heck am I supposed to do? g4. Minority attack. Rook b6. Actually offered a draw there and he didn't want it. Now f6. I don't know, knight somewhere. Knight e4 to c4. Knight e4, knight takes d5, knight takes c5, knight f4 check. That's kind of a problem. We're getting a little low on time here. Is that found another move. Queen check. e5 is interesting. Probably not great. Black is gotta move quickly. e5. Why isn't it great? It's great. It's a great move. Alright. Jeroen. I don't know, man. I have the better structure. Isn't that worth anything? Knight c6, I thought you'd see the light. Queen c5 now? Actually, queen f6 is probably stronger there. Takes d5. I think he heard me. Just holding on against Lenshin. Now we have some chances here. e4. Breaking free? Maybe. So we get to the technical stage, guys. Sorry, I can't... Ismail, how hard it feels to draw. Yeah, Ismail, I thought about... now rook e4. Ah, that's the trick. I see. Oh, you found that. Surprise. Uh-huh. Zili deuce. Yeah, that's interesting. It's pretty creative double piece sacrifice you got there. I think I just have to resign. I mean, I can't play on here. It's probably all lost anyway, Zudi deuce. Nice double piece sacrifice. Knight e4 now? Or knight a4. He offered a draw. I should be happy for a draw here against Malas. I was like fighting for a draw. Feels like knight e4. I feel like I'm fighting for a draw there. I thought I was better, but now maybe queen e5. Queen e5. Maybe not an ending, actually. King g8 or something. Just begging to hang on here against Lenshin. Jeroen. Yeah, Ismail, you played well. I mean, you were worse, but then I was in danger of even being worse once I let your knight into c5. So, at the end, I thought about playing for a win, but honestly, it's, you know, I mean, I could even lose, honestly. That was my concern. And this guy is really scary. Franco. He's really scary. He's maneuvering again. Now against Jeroen, against Azim Leisotari, maybe I can hang on here by blocking the position. Be another double piece sacrifice or something. I don't know. Rook d8. That's a good way to lose. Probably. Man, look at this. Rook d6 with the idea of rook b6. Maybe I need to play b6. Look at this position. He's like Karpov. Rook d8. Rook d8. I don't know what to do. Okay, I guess I shouldn't panic. I don't know. I'm getting really low on time. Just have to move quickly. Rook h5. What? Well, move 11 was about to lose on time, and he like gave me a piece. Looks like. Yeah, he just freaked out. I mean, he might have some threats. But I don't think it's enough. Opponent offered me a draw. What's that? You think? Varouge and Akobian would give you a draw here in this structure? Oh, man. Wow, I'm not allowed to make a move. I'm in check. Oh my god, that's why you offered a draw. I'm in check. Alright, dude. I didn't know I was in check. But I'm still better, aren't I? Yeah, I'm still better. Let's play a couple more moves. I'm not much better though. You'll probably get your draw. But I'm gonna try a few more moves. Here, rook e8. Look at this. Look at Lenshin. Yeah, I'm wrong. We've got the... Man, check this guy out, dude. Check him out. But he's like fearless, you know. No matter what you do, there's more coming against Mr. Franco has b2 defended by the maneuver knight d1. I mean, that's... Wow, dude. All right. Now what? Queen e1? I don't know. Can I run away with my king? Like king f3? No, that's not a good idea. I don't know, rook g1. Well, that's actually interesting. Right, let's try that. Yeah, I was afraid you'd see that. I was afraid he'd see that. Maybe rook d8. Alright. Should I try to hold on to my bishop here? If it matters that much, this might be a mistake. Queen f3 now. What? What? Guitar player, what? He dropped a piece? Somebody else dropped a piece, not me. That's hard to believe. We actually won a pawn here? Wow. b3? Do I want to do that? Yes. King c3 check. Man, I didn't see this. That's a nice little tactic there. Franco coming with the knight e3, knight c4, knight f5. Jeez, man. I mean, he must be seriously a serious master, dude. Queen takes f5. This is winning. Pawn takes or what? I think pawn takes, actually. Alright, Franco's going to beat me again. That's life. Rook h2 here. Queen takes. Look at this, man. Unbelievable, dude. Lynching. He's got the... No, I think I said rook h1 here. Now, Jeroen could be in trouble, actually. If there's any justice in this world. Alright. Rook a6, a5. Rook b4 is also interesting. Knight takes d4. Maybe this wasn't the best. Delta psi is... He's getting counterplay here. b3. I mean, I'm very lucky that I'm not lost already against Franco. Rook c2. Rook c4. This is actually a tricky position. This should be winning for me. Alright. Wow, he's going for it now with knight e8. f4. Not really a great move. Bishop takes b7. To play a5, I guess. Azim Soitari, are you serious, dude? This is your normal game? You've played 33 games with me. I think I know your normal game pretty well. Alright. Queen c3. Pawn takes pawn. Queen f7. We're in business against passive Freya. We should be winning this position, this ending, although it's not the best. Should I take and play? We should be winning. We've got him cut off, got her cut off. He or her. Knight f5 now. I mean, dude. Okay, this is like playing a 2600. Not the only 2600 either. Queen takes h5. Rook d8. Have to trade. Go into this ending where I'm lost. Yeah, a4. And speaking of a4, Bishop takes d4, bishop takes... Yeah, we don't want that, dude. I think I have to play this. Cut the king off. And here I have to back up, and I screwed this up against Delta Psi really bad. Really bad. Really, really bad. Man, this is stupid. Alright, king e5. Now, can I survive against Azim Lee Sutari? Well, I think now I can probably survive. It's like blocked. So I make the classic sort of perverse blunder here. King f3. Maybe king f3. And just walk away. Alright. We've got this ending here, man. Hitting my c6 pawn. Gotta play d5. But Franco, if you're not a master, man, I don't know. I'll do like 100 push-ups on the stream next time. Queen d4. Rook takes a4. Rook takes a4. f5. Now I miscalculated this a bit, it appears, but it shouldn't really be decisive. And now I don't know what my idea was really here against Azim Lee Sutari. Probably just to move my king back and forth. I don't really have a better idea. King f6. Actually, king f6. Yeroon's pawn structure is kind of instructive. An instructive classic situation. This is Jan Brown, who's like a guy. He's pretty tough to beat, man. Pretty tough to beat. Let's see. Now what? B4, e6. Take. Yeah. 95 check or something. Alright, knight d2. Shouldn't really matter, right? King f2. Should be able to hold on against Azim. Now, what is my idea here? Just not to lose on time? That's a good starting place. Alright, let's start with that. Now notice that Jan Brown before declined to draw. Now what do I do? Facing rook b8 check and whatnot. Bishop f6 walks into... Well, actually, bishop f6 might be a good move. Bishop h6, then I come back. I think it's reasonable. The Franco from start to finish is scaring the living daylights out of me. Rook d7, bishop there, knight c7. It's nice and passive. Seem to be lost. And now I had a hallucination. Yep, I love the hallucinations. Thought I could defend my pawn. I have to play this really perverse move. So I have maybe rook f8. Yeah, go crazy. Rook f8. Go for it. What does rook f8 do ultimately? I might as well just play g5, g4. Alright. Alright, now Azim Lee Sutari played knight c4. First strange move of the game. Okay, and now knight there. Wow. Bishop f8. Yeroon. e6 take. Some kind of study-like trick from Artur. Did not see that, as usual. But I'm not sure. Let's give it a try. Alright. Now like A5 or something. Man. This dude is scaring me. Rook there, check. King D4. No, I'm after that one. Not going to give you any counterplay, Rune. I have to go here. Slow. Azim Sutari. I don't think that's going to change anything. And now I have to go back and stop that. For sure. Now H4, F4. F4 is interesting. Like only move, F4. Now H4. King D6. Against Lenshin, it's like I'm playing Ricard Rapport or something. I might as well play H5 first here. Accurate. And I really don't know what this guy is tough. A4, try to break it open. I mean, I never have anything on his king. Queen E7, I guess, is interesting. Alright, now we can just walk our king around. Never let his knight back, and it's a draw. H6. We create our passed pawn. Queen A3. I don't really want to trade queens. It's been a while since I beat Jeroen in a Simul game. Queen takes F6. Rook takes. Rook takes D2. Wow, the rook G6 in between move. Pawn takes pawn. Maybe we go with pawn takes pawn here. Not a bad intermezzo. I think I have just one move there. Rook B7, wow. There's no way I can trade queens here. Good game, Richie. Wow, look at this. A1 queen. Yeah, that's a draw. Thank you, Azim Sutari. Fantastic positional game. Wow, H4. Didn't expect that. Now this move. C5. I'm hanging a piece. Yeah, that's cool. I don't really want to hang a piece here, so. Man, what's up with this position? My bishop's just trapped, so he's got the study-like thing going. play h5. Winning against guitar player 2 or 3. Now b4. That's nasty. To beg for a draw from this, what I thought was a better position. Apparently not. So bishop g7 check. Knight takes h6. How do you... It doesn't actually work, right? That's the problem. So g5. Why doesn't bishop g7 check work? I have to play g5 first. But it's like too slow. It's too slow. I thought I had bishop g7 check. But he just ignores it. And then what? And then he has... Yeah. Wait a second. Alright, we have to try it anyway. Alright. Only chance. King d4. A lot of draws. King b1. Black playing for a win. a4 now? Yeah, he's got a trick there. Takes, pawn takes. I don't know what to do here. Alright. Yep. Ricardo. Why did I play that? Oh, okay. h5. b4. This is not that easy. I have to return. b3. Alright, b3. And now I have to play rook takes. Was that my idea? Rook takes d5 or pawn takes pawn? No, pawn takes pawn. Queen takes queen, pawn takes pawn. Or pawn, rook takes, queen takes a4. Queen takes a4. Rook takes Queen takes a4, queen takes a4. Pretty tough. Yeah, h5. Should I just get behind this pawn first? I don't know. I'm running out of time. Well, he took the pawn. Alright. Some tough endings, some not so tough endings remaining here. You should be winning against Morphy Fischer, I think. Zudi Doos, I saw that, but I thought there was something for you there. I thought that you had. I thought you had a line in there too. You had like a forced pawn up queen ending, if I'm not mistaken. What happened to the pawn up queen ending, man? I thought it was like forced. I calculated all that, you know, that if I do that move, you had. Well, maybe earlier I missed something. I'm not sure. Should be winning against Jeroen, but I'm not 100% sure. All right. So Franco goes into this line. I saw this. I thought queen takes a4. And we'll play this position. But maybe he's got something. This one, I don't know why we're really playing this out. King e3. King e3. Getting crazy. Maybe this doesn't work. That'd be kind of sad. Okay, let's just make a sensible move, you know, for a change. Sensible move. Rook A2. We sacked our pawn for like king position there. Rook B2. What else can I do? Now what? King C4, King C6, King C6, King D6. We go back. Right, and I wasn't sure what's going on here, but we'll see. I guess we're going to find out in the next installment. And I don't have knight B8. I mean, the whole point was that I thought I had knight A8, but that doesn't work. Great. That's good calculation. It's like a study. Great. Speaking of studies, and here I thought I had a move, but he's got everything figured out. Damn, dude. Arthur. Just the massive technique. This pass pawn is nothing. Seriously. God. That's so unfair. Bishop F6, F3. I just have to resign. Good game, Arthur. King E3. King position. Yeah, I thought you'd see it your way. So this position, what's going on here? Rook B4. I win a pawn. Now, I'm not sure about this. Now, obviously, he has tricks. I think rook. Where should I go? Rook D1 check? I'm not really sure like which square I should go to. Rook D4. Rook H2. Trying to set up mates or something. I don't think that's really realistic here. I have to be kind of thoughtful about this position. Okay. We don't have much time. Wow, you blundered. Delta Psi got in time pressure and blundered. Okay. But my time management was much better tonight. Talking too much in the beginning of the simul. It's like we've lost a couple games, but bishop takes d4, bishop takes d4, rook takes d4, b6, rook b6. Should be okay for me. Yeah, this is sort of silly. Alright, and Jeroen fought like a tiger, as usual. Almost mouse slipped it. Queen c6. Oh, man, what is going on here? Check. b6. I'll be resigning here pretty soon. But you never want to give up hope till it's definitely over. Gotta get behind, past pawn in question. Now b7, e7. And if I play like here, you have the check on c5. If I take, I don't know. Why can't I take? Oh, you have that. Oh man, this is really tough. So okay, I'll go here. It should be a win. It's actually kind of tricky. Why don't I play for a mate there? Wow. Rook b1 check? We got lucky against Franco. God, he played like a master, man. Like, not just a master, he played like thought he was a GM, man. It was like ridiculous. Got mate. It's crazy. Crazy ending against Franco. Thank you for the game. But you played superbly. D4 here, I guess. I can't let his king approach my rook. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Morphetal Fischer. I think this should be a win. I mean, 2 pawns. Check him back. You can force the queen trade. There's queen takes d5, which I missed. I missed something too, for sure. Look at this king b5 from... Oh, man. King a6. Where are you going? King a7. h3. Yeah, h3, take. Well, my knight has to go to like d7, and I don't see how I'm going to get it there. This guy is not giving up. Not today. I get like an Alexander Ivanov type of rook and knight. No, knight and pawn against queen. Something ridiculous. Would be funny. Let's try to checkmate him. F4. The earth thunders. Actually, I don't think I can win this with that advanced pawn and my king cut off. Use d3, check, take, check, king c4. I can try to lose if I want to, I guess. This technique's pretty good. I just have to repeat moves. Be glad that I didn't lose. Man, what am I doing here? Rook c2. h5. Actually, bishop g5 check is best. Alright. Well, Lynchen makes a hesitant move there. Now, this is getting really technical now. Knight f4, knight g5, knight e6. Why don't I play this check? I just gave Jeroen a pawn. Not sure if it's really a good idea or not. Well, there is a check first. We really should be winning there. That's just a draw. I mean, I'm up a pawn, but his pawn's too far advanced and my king is cut off. That's a mate. Alright, that was a long game. We're down to our last What happened, man? Get me back to my simul. Where's my simul, dude? Where's my simul? Whoa, dude. How did I get there? Where's my simul? Sparkle Horse simul, dude. Playing 2. Where's my games? Why are my games not running? That was mate. Where are my games that are running? Here's one. B7. Yep. It's a win. So Lynchen takes me out 2-0. Nice technique, Richie. I lost a number of games. I don't know, 2 or 3. We've got, what is Jeroen? Are you the last one? There's got to be another game, no? That's it? Oh, Jeroen is the last one. Wow. This is powerful passed pawn. Man, I think this is Jeroen's first time being the last simul game. Is that right? I mean, I'm a little scared now. Let's make sure. We had... Yeah, I'm okay with leaving page. So it's 17 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses. That adds up to 24. And that's, yeah, so we got just Jeroen left. Wow. We've got, I didn't drink anything. Anyway, guys, sorry it was really tense and I was really concentrating, so kind of in the zone there. I didn't talk that much about other stuff, just like concretely the position at hand. So tomorrow I have a stream at 10 o'clock CEST, Blitz and Classical Chess, every day this week. Jeroen, you have extra duty. You've got to finish the longest game, and then you're our administrator tomorrow as well, if you can make it. We've got Blitz and Classical Chess between 5 and 8 minutes with a small increment every day, Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock CEST. And I'd like to thank everybody for playing in the simul today. It was fun. A lot of interesting games. Some people were lucky, some were not. I was a little tired because I played a tournament game today in the morning, so that's pretty tough, you know, to do both. I'm coming in with my king, or am I playing c3 here? I think they're both good. c3. I think they're both good. Some combination of c3, king d4, and king e3. I don't think that his counterplay is fast enough. We're coming in with a mate threat. Maybe I'm wrong. Just check. Maybe I didn't play this optimally. Very likely. He's got a pass pawn now. But my pawns are pretty strong. I could even play f3. Take, take. He has a million checks. If I play f3, though. Oh, man. Come on. Maybe rook... This has got to be... This has got to be right. If I have to play f3 and take with the king, I'll do that, you know? I mean... These two pawns have to win. Even if he has a bunch of checks or an h-pawn running down the board. My pawns are just too advanced for this not to be a win. Rook d2. I think I can do this. Simple move. Just in time. Transfer my king to d2. Yeah, actually I'm being silly. I mean, I have c2 here. Am I being silly or not? c2. I mean, c2 is pretty strong. But also rook d3, h5, king d2, h6, rook h7. Looks pretty brutal. Now I've got two pawns queening with the help of the king. Double barrel pawns coming down. Nice arrow, man. King here, rook, pawn down, pawn down. We're just in time to stop this nonsense. Stop the nonsense. And then the two pawns come down. 2-1 victory. That's you ruined with a rare lapse in the endgame there. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe it's just a lesson in pawn structure. I certainly won games, or lost games, excuse me, like that, man. I remember once losing to Javier Moreno in a similar structure, the dragon structure. Lynchen made queenside castles game. What are you talking about? Good game, dude. I'll beat you in the near future, says Azim Lee Soitari. Never played this variation. Pawn Spanker. Thanks, guys. It's 18 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses. So that's one of my better scores in recent times, I think. Usually I have more like 5, 6, 7 draws. So I think I cut down on the draws a little bit. Usually it's about 3 losses, but the draw seems like I cut it down, so slightly better than usual. And 25 players, that's the other thing. I've been playing like 21, 22. So I'd like to thank everybody for the games today, and certainly some back and forth struggles. But considering I played my tournament game today, I actually thought it turned out pretty well. I thought I might be like really exhausted. So we're going to be back tomorrow. Thanks again. You can donate to the stream and to my YouTube channel if you want to support with PayPal. There's a button on my YouTube channel and here on the Twitch page. Also, don't forget about my YouTube channel. It's Video Chess Training on YouTube. So different kind of stuff. I'll upload all the streams from here. I also have independent instructional videos and also reviews of stuff. I'll probably do a review of 3 or 4 games from the Simul. So stay tuned for that. And I'd like to thank everybody for being here, especially Siroce, who is a moderator as well as the toughest player of the day. Well, at least he held on the longest anyway. So thanks everybody. We'll see you soon. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the bullet marathon. I'm out.